If you're just started your YouTube channel or you're about to start your YouTube channel, it can be so confusing about what you actually need to buy. Trust me, I watched countless of these videos when I was first starting my YouTube channel journey just over 2 years ago, and I bought a lot of stuff which quite frankly, I did not need. You know, now I'm running my studio off one light. I think at one stage I had 4 different lights running. I've tried different microphones and I did waste some money. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to make a video which clearly explains what you need and what you need to focus on in order to launch a successful YouTube channel. Now, the other thing I do want to stress, in case we haven't met yet, my name is Aaron Young from 7-Figure Coaching. And what my focus is on this channel is to help YouTube educators to really build channels which can build 6- and 7-figure businesses. So if you want to be a vlogger or something like that, this is probably not the channel for you. And what I do want to really also want to focus on is that if you are a YouTube educator, you don't need the largest channel in the world. The reason why I know this is that the first channel which I set up has been running for just over 2 years and it's got over 80,000 subscribers. So not the smallest channel, but definitely not the largest channel in the world. But that channel generates me over 7,000 high quality leads every single month into my business, which is how that business is a 7-figure business. So don't feel like you need a massive channel. As a YouTube educator, what your goal is just to have a really highly focused channel that trusts you, the creator, for teaching them whatever the skill set is that you are teaching them. And if you want to make sure that you never miss any practical teaching like this video is actually part of an 8-part video series called Become a Content Creator in 2024. And to make sure you don't miss out any of these videos, make sure that you don't only subscribe, but also turn on that notification bell. So what I want you to understand when it comes to starting to record YouTube videos, there's 3 main things that you want to focus on. And that is your lighting, the camera, and the audio. Now, one thing I do want to stress, especially for YouTube educators, that the goal is not perfection. And the great thing for YouTube educators is that if you've got high quality teaching, even if you have average quality lighting, sound, and video, you're still going to be able to retain your audience. That's not saying that improving your audio and your video won't also help your retention, but the quality of your teaching is more important than the production of your videos. I do want you to remember that the most important thing is to focus on the value of the teaching that you're giving in your video, because even if your video has absolutely perfect sound, perfect lighting, and perfect video quality, if it's got poor teaching, it's not going to be effective. Whereas the reverse is 100% true. If you've got high quality teaching and average or even below average lighting and sound and video, you can still build an audience. And the reason why I know that is when I go back and look at some of my first videos on my first channel, they are so bad and so cringy. And even now, I'm still amazed that when I look at the top viewed videos over the last 90 days, some of those really early videos, which I think had poor video quality and poor audio quality, they're still some of my audience's favorite videos and they're still generating me high quality leads. So I do also want to let you know that while you are always wanting to improve and increase your sound quality and your lighting quality, don't let that hold you back from posting on YouTube and starting to teach your audience. So what I'm going to do in this video is something a little bit different because I was thinking about the best way that I could show you this. And I did a video on my mobile phone to some of my students of this course, really teaching them how to create their own YouTube channels. They found it really valuable. So this video, it might be a little bit rough, but what I am going to do is we're going to do a mobile phone tour and I'll actually show you the live setup of what I've got in my studio. And when I say studio, I actually mean office. And my hope here is that this will really break down and really show you that you don't need a lot of stuff in order to grow a really highly successful YouTube channel. Now, before we get into that mobile video tour, I do also want to help you a little bit further because not only do you need a good video, but you also need good thumbnails. And if you'd like to get some extra training on how you can create high quality thumbnails as a YouTube educator, and in this cheat sheet, I go through my YouTube thumbnails rule of 3, where I break down the 3 core aspects that you need in your thumbnails. And if you want access to that training guide, all you need to do is to follow that link in the description below. But right now, I'm going to jump onto my mobile phone so we can do a real life tour of my office and show you how I've set up to record my videos. Hey, back here. Now, as I said, this might be a little bit rough because it's on my mobile phone, but as I said, the goal here is to be really, really practical and really show you the setup that I use for my YouTube videos. So let's firstly break it down to those three areas. And the first thing I'm going to break it down to is sound. So what I want to show you here is that this is the microphone that I use, and it is a Rode microphone. Now, the one thing I do want to make clear here is that I didn't start with this microphone. So the first microphone that I started with was a Blue Yeti. The biggest thing that you want is you just want a USB microphone. Now, I've got it on this arm, as you can see through here, but once again, you don't necessarily need that. That's not a requirement, because the biggest thing that you do want is you just want something that can pick up the sound. Now, when we're talking audio, there's two other things that I want to show you through here. You'll see here in this room that what I've actually done, because I'm in quite a small space, this was feeling quite echoey. So what we actually did was I actually went through, and rather than spending, I think it was about $1,000 on proper audio soundboards, I actually just did this, and this is quite a cheap way of doing it, is if you actually see here, I went onto Amazon and got some cheap foam tiles. And if you see behind there was, in Australia, we call it MDF board. I just put some cheap MDF board down and then just put it up on the wall. And that's been really, really effective. The other thing that what I did here as well, once again, grabbed this from Amazon, is just a thicker curtain. And I found that that helped to remove some of the bouncing of the sound. And then people ask, what do I use to record? As you can see, my recording track is going on there now. And we just use free GarageBand. So that's how I get my audio recorded for my videos. Next thing, let's go to lighting. So you can see through here, this is where I said at the start, I had about 3 or 4 different lighting setups, and it was just too much. So the main thing that you want to have is that I've just got a light. Once again, I picked this one up from Amazon. I think it's just called like the Newer brand. I picked it up for about $100. Maybe it was a little bit more than 100, but it wasn't too much. The only other thing that I would say with this is that I've actually turned off the lights, because I found, this might be an Australian thing, but the lights have a really sort of yellow tinge. The main thing that you want to have is that you want to have the light behind the camera. So for me, that's the only light that I've got on in the whole space. It's behind the camera, and yeah, just straight on me, and it's pretty simple. Then people ask about the background. I've got a dark background now. I started with a white background. There's no real right or wrong, it's just personal preference. So that's the lighting. And then finally, let's get to the camera. So I actually use a GoPro. It's a GoPro 10. Now, the reason for why I like this one, so I'll just get it straight on here, is that I like it because it's a simple point and shoot, and also you can see myself when I'm talking. And for me, I've just found that much, much easier to really talk to the camera as I'm going through. And the great thing about the GoPro is they're under $500. So they're not the most expensive camera in the world. The other thing to keep in mind as well is that if you need to, you can just run with your iPhone. Don't go out and buy an expensive camera. It's not required. The great thing about a GoPro as well, or your mobile phone, is that they're simple point and shoot. As you can see through here, I've just got it on a tripod. I set it up and then I'm good to go. The main thing that I really want to focus in here is this whole setup. I can set up my office or studio to record in under 5 minutes. The other thing that people ask me is, how do I actually record? Like, what's the setup? And you can see through here, I've got my camera here, and then I've got a computer over to the left of me. Now, you don't have to do this, but I write out my scripts, and then what that allows me is so I've got the setup here, so I talk to the camera, I then look over to my script, and then I come back and talk to the camera. All right, so I know, as I said, that may have been a bit rough, but what I really wanted to see is the real raw setup of my YouTube studio, or as I said, my office. Thank you for joining me. My name is Aaron Young from 7 Figure Coaching. And remember, if you also wanted to get that extra teaching on how to create high converting thumbnails for your YouTube videos, make sure you follow that link in the description below. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure joining me. And if you want to watch the full playlist on how to become a content creator in 2024, go through and watch this video here. See you next time.